Good day, guys. Welcome to Social Science Grade 6. We are on day 8. Today, we will be focusing on history as a subject. So our focus will be based on Europe exploration. But we will look at the European Renaissance in the 15th and 16th century. Do you guys have any idea about the European Renaissance? Have you ever read about them anywhere? Do you know something about the European Renaissance? Have you ever? Michaela says, no, I do not know anything about the European Renaissance. And you guys, others, you also don't know? Vet user also says they don't know. All right, cool. Stay tuned to this lesson. We are going to learn about it. Awetu says, I have, but I don't remember. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to remind you today. Just focus. It's going to be a very long lesson. So Renaissance means something that is new, okay? It has to do with a change, developing something, all right? So let's go to our lesson so you can understand properly. So 4 things to know about this lesson is that we are going to be looking at the European Renaissance of the 15th and the 16th century. By the end of the lesson, you should know how Renaissance started in Europe, how change, Renaissance means change started in Europe, okay? We need to discuss, it's a discussion lesson, so guys, we must all participate. Explorers from Europe find South Africa, okay? So these European Renaissance will link to South Africa on how the explorers from Europe got into Southern Africa, which is South Africa, okay? So this chapter will be about that, on how the European explorers got to South Africa, okay? But for today, our lesson will be based on, we will examine why European explored the world, okay? And then we'll also look at we'll explore why the European Renaissance in the 15th and 16th century was a turning point in European history, okay? This is what we are going to look for today. And then the following day, we'll discuss about the new ideas and the knowledge that influenced Europeans in the 15th and 16th century. And then we'll also discuss how trade and profit influenced European explorers, okay, to South Africa, of course. Now, introduction. For today's topic, we will focus on the changes in Europe that made it possible for Europeans to explore other parts of the world. As I've said, Renaissance means change. So today we'll look at the changes that happened in Europe, okay? It looks at some of the journeys made by European explorers to Southern African coast, okay? So the European Renaissance in the 15th and 16th century. Here, Renaissance means rebirth, okay? Rebirth of something, or the starting of something again, okay? Renaissance means to rebirth something or to start something again. In the 15th and 16th century, some European countries went through a renaissance, some European countries. So which means they went through a rebirth of something, or they started something again, okay? This happened after many years of war and suffering. So the reason for a renaissance, it was because of fighting and being in wars for many years, okay? So the people were suffering a lot. There were new developments in art, language, religion, science, and travel. So Renaissance brought the new development in art, in language, literature, religion, science, and travel. So that was the change, okay? People became more interested in the world around them, okay? During the Renaissance, okay? They wanted to explore the world and learn about it. So the world will mean the whole world, not Europe per se. So the whole world also includes South Africa. As I've said, that this topic will be based on South Africa, on how the European explored South Africa. So the European also wanted to explore the world, which include our country, okay? Renaissance artists and scientists made decisions, okay? Renaissance artists and scientists made many inventions. Yeah, they made inventions, which means they produced a lot of things, okay? The Renaissance, listen very carefully, the Renaissance began, it started in Italy in 1300, okay? It started where? In Italy, okay? And by 1600, it has spread to France, and then it went to France, it went to England, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, and other European countries. So it started in Italy in the 1300, and then it went to France, England, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, and other European countries. So the rebuild of something or the starting of something, it only began in Italy, and then other countries also wanted the change, such as France, England, Germany, Netherlands, Spain. So they joined together, okay? Before Renaissance started, there was Middle Ages, okay? Middle Ages, it's an age of faith in God and heaven. So before Renaissance, there were Middle Ages, okay? So Renaissance came as an age of humanity, science, learning, rights, and freedom of individuals. So these two were different. So during this time of Middle Ages, people were only focusing where? On faith in God and heaven. So during the Renaissance, people wanted change, okay? So it involved humanity, science, learning, rights, and freedoms of individuals. This was the change. Through the Middle Ages, European had been ruled by the church. So before the Renaissance, Europe was ruled by the church, okay? Was ruled by the church. So meaning most of the things that they were doing was based on religion, okay? Was based on religion. Through Middle Ages, there had been little space for new ideas or individuals' thought. So people were not given a chance to say their ideas and their thoughts, okay? The church will just say this and then this must happen. Nobody must argue, okay? You don't put your thoughts, okay? So, and through the Middle Ages, the printing press had a lot to do with the rebirth of individual's thoughts, okay? At the end of the Middle Age, a terrible sickness killed almost half the people living in towns in Europe. Many people then moved back to the country, okay? They moved from towns to the other side of the country because of the terrible sickness that killed almost half of the living people in towns, okay? Just like the coronavirus, it is killing a lot of people. We can say that kind of is, the coronavirus was the kind of sickness that happened during the Middle Ages, is an example, okay? Towns were left with a shortage of skilled people. Money was short. It was a desperate time for many, and this led to new beginnings. So since the terrible sickness killed almost half of the people, people then decided to move from town, going back to other parts of the country, okay? So it led to, in the towns, people who were skilled were now less, okay? So money was now in short because all the people who are skilled are no longer there. So it was a desperate time for many people, okay? And it led to the new beginnings, which is the Renaissance. The Renaissance. So another reasons for the change in Europe from moving in the Middle Ages to the Renaissance was that there was never one reason for change. There are many, okay? Often, a number of different events and influence happened around the same time and caused change in the society. So a lot of things happened in Europe that time that led to the change of things, okay, in Italy, since the change of things started in Italy, okay? Changes possibly occurred because people had lost faith in the church. I told you that before the Renaissance, Europe was led by the church. So the reason for change to Renaissance is that people had lost faith in the church, okay? They started losing faith, like, oh, now we are no longer believing you guys, okay? So, and needed to learn new skills. So people wanted to learn new skills because the church did not allow them to put their ideas into practice, okay? So they wanted to learn new skill, okay, so that they can structure their society very well, okay? Renaissance students and artists followed the classical learning of ancient Greek and Rome, okay? So they were Renaissance students and artists that follow the classical learning of ancient Greek and Rome, okay? This was the beginning of change. That's another reason. Another reason for change is that Renaissance leaders and thinkers began to reject, they started to reject many of the attitude and ideas of the Middle Age, okay? Middle Age was ruled by the church, okay? So the church was the one in control. So Renaissance leaders and thinkers began to be like, no, we are going to reject your attitude and we are going to reject your ideas, okay? So that's how change started, okay? Because Renaissance leaders were like, no, we're tired, okay? We are rejecting your ideas now. The big change was called humanism. This was the big change that happened, okay? When people started to think for themselves, not to be controlled by a church. So this was the big change. People then started to be like, no, I'm gonna think for myself, okay? Let's think for ourselves, guys. Let's not let the church control our ideas, control our thoughts, Okay, so that was the reason for the Renaissance. People wanted to think for themselves. Okay, they wanted to be independent on their thoughts. All right. Okay, we have an activity here. I've been preaching, I know. So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to tell me the answers for number one. Where did the Renaissance begin? Where did the Renaissance begin? Mutluri?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you, ma'am?
Okay, you guys are two there.
Ma'am?
Yes, come. What's your answer?
So the Renaissance began in Italy.
It began in Italy. That is correct. Do you remember the year?
The year, ma'am, in the 15th to the 16th centuries.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kia?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
The Renaissance began in Italy.
it began in Italy. That is correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kia. Okay, no more participant. All right. On the group chat, Michelle says it began in Italy. Yes, it did. Thank you very much. It began in Italy. And then that user says Italy as well. That's true. Michaela, okay. Owetu says Europe. Yes, it began in Europe, but in Italy, okay? But in Italy. We have other answers. Owetu says Italy. Kia says Italy. Yes, guys, I also say it's Italy. Let's look for number two. What was the reason for the start of the Renaissance? Why did the Renaissance started? What was the reason for the start of the Renaissance? Why did the Renaissance started? Why did the Renaissance started? On the group chat, Michaela says they wanted to think for themselves. Yes, we have Lloyd as a participant.
Ma'am. So
Yes,
another reason for the start of the Renaissance was because they just lost faith in the church.
they lost faith in the church. Yes, that's correct as well. We have Kia.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Kia, you're welcome.
The reason for the Renaissance to start is because they wanted to think for themselves, like Mikhail said, and they wanted to learn.
They wanted to learn. That is correct. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your answer. And we have vet user. Jordan.
They wanted to learn new skills.
They wanted to learn new skills. Yes, that's correct, Jordan. Thank you, my boy. Okay, any more participant? Nothing. Okay, on the group chat, let me read. Michelle says they wanted to learn, they wanted to think for themselves. Yes, that's correct. Awetu says they wanted to learn. That's correct. Yes, that's all. So I also say that the reason why it started is that people lost faith in the church, okay? And then most of the people were now suffering due to that sickness that happened during the Middle Age, okay? And the church was the one in charge, okay? And then the reason for a change is because there were other Renaissance thinkers, okay, who started to reject the church, okay, who were like, no, we are going to stand for the people. We are going to reject your ideas, okay? Let's move to number 3. What was the Renaissance in Europe? What was the Renaissance in Europe? This is like a definition. What is Renaissance? What was the Renaissance in Europe? What was the Renaissance in Europe? On the group chat, we have Awetu. Awetu says it's a rebirth or change. We have Kia.
You, ma'am.
Yes, Kia.
Renaissance in Europe was meant for rebirth.
Yes, for rebirth. Yes, for change. Thank you, Michael. Kia,
Thank you, ma'am.
appreciate your answer. We have Jordan on the group chat. Jordan says it is a rebirth. Okay, it is a rebirth. Yes, I also say that Renaissance in Europe was a change that take place. Okay, that took place. Yes. So let's move to number 4. Name the countries where Renaissance spread it to. Isn't it? It started in Italy. Yes, you said that. I also told you the countries that the Renaissance spread it to. It spread it to other countries in Europe. Which are the countries? Which are the countries? Which are the countries? We have Jordan on the group chat. Jordan says France. Michaela says France. Okay, on the participant we have. Okay, what happened to Kia? Okay, we have Kia. Kia.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
The Renaissance spread it to France.
Yes, it spread it to France as well. That's correct. You know other countries?
I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Is it
Okay,
South
just say it.
Africa?
I'll correct you.
Ma'am, is it South Africa?
No. It's not South Africa. I want the European countries.
Italy?
Yes, it's Italy. It's okay.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, it's fine, Miguel. Thank you. Okay, guys, this thing, it spread it to France, number 1. Write it down. It went to England as well, okay? It went to Germany. It also spread it to Germany. It went to Netherlands. It also went to Spain, okay? And other European countries. It went to, from France, it went to, from Italy, it went to France, England, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, and other European countries. Okay, we will learn more about them as we continue. Okay, Good people. Why European explored? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you why, the reason why European explored. People have always explored people have always explored the world they live in. Before the 1400, most people in Europe hardly ever traveled, okay, further than their neighboring countries. So during that time of the church and the Middle Ages, people hardly traveled, okay. They by traveling, they would go to their nearby towns, okay. And then from the 1400, European started to explore new land, okay? They started to explore new land. Why did this happen, okay? More people, more and more people learned how to read and write during the Renaissance. So during the church time, during the Middle Age, most of the people did not know how to read. Most of the people did not know how to write. So this is the reason why people wanted to explore, because more and more people learned how to read, okay? They learned how to write as well. So that's the reason why they started exploring. That's another reason why they even they came to explore South Africa, okay? Let's continue. People became curious about other places, and culture. They became curious. They wanted to know about other places, how South Africa is like. South Africa is a rainbow nation. How is it like? Their culture, their way of living. We want to go and see. So they wanted to explore. That's the reason why they wanted to explore, because now they know how to read and they also know how to write. So they are using their skills, okay? Another reason is that ideas and knowledge began to spread. So they now had the ideas and they now had the knowledge, okay? So their ideas were taken into consideration. They will share their ideas and share their knowledge, okay? That makes it made life to be very simple, okay? New technology meant that people learn how to build bigger ships, okay? So during the Renaissance, they produced new technology, such as the building of ships, okay? So ships were the one that helped them to travel around, okay? They helped them to travel around. Okay, another thing that made them to explore other places is that it's because of trade. We learned about trade a few days ago on the importance of trade, okay? Trade became very important to the European people, okay? People discovered new resource they wanted or needed, such as spices, okay? So the Europeans started to discover the things that they needed, such as spices, okay? So they looked to new places to get these things, all right? Countries wanted to trade so they could be more wealthy. So they wanted to make their country to be more rich. Then they started to trade, okay? They started to trade with other countries. Okay, the last one, it's European wanted to spread their Christian religion and their culture. And that worked very well, because we are actually, most of us, colonized by the European culture. We are actually practicing the European culture. We have forgotten about us. So the Europeans were even successful in spreading their religion and culture to us. So that's why they wanted to explore the world, to spread their Christian religion and to spread their culture. And it was successful by the look of things. We are going to learn about that when it comes to South Africa, how they explore South Africa. Yes, guys, I think we have reached to the end of our lesson, but now let's just talk about the things that we were learning about today. We just talk until our class time ends. You talk to me, we have a conversation. We have Lloyd.
So, ma'am, what I
Sure,
learned
how are you?
today,
Yes.
so ma'am, what I learned today is I learned about the reasons for European exploration. I also learned about some of the European exploration. I also learned about the renaissances that they had and why they had them and what they are for, which is they are for to like change. They are actually methods of how Europe changes and grows. I also learned where the Renaissance originated and from then where it went to. I also learned about when the Renaissances took place.
You learned a lot, ne?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yes. Thank you, Lloyd. Lloyd.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lloyd. Okay, we are moving to Kia. 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 Kia.
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
Kia. You are up.
Today I learned about what the meaning of Renaissance is. The meaning of Renaissance is rebirth, and I also learned that Renaissance spread it to Italy, Germany, and France.
Yes. 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 That's true.
Yes, that's all.
That's all. Thank you, Kia. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you. Clap hands for yourself. Yes. Wonderful. Other participant? Let's have other participant, guys. Let's talk. Let's talk. Okay. On the group chat, guys, okay. Who are we having? Sorry about that. Okay, on the group chat, that user says we learned about the Renaissance. Yes, we learned about the Renaissance. Thank you, guys. Lloyd, you wanna say something? Lloyd.
Sorry, ma'am. I just left my hand up.
Okay, I thought you wanted to add. Okay, all right, let's move on. Thank you guys for learning a lot today. I'm really proud of how you responded to the questions. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy and I'm proud of you. So tomorrow, look carefully. Tomorrow we will be learning about the spread of Renaissance in Europe. Okay, we will also read an article. Do you guys have textbooks? I want you to go and read the article that is in the spread of Europe. Yes, go read that textbook, please. And then, go read that article in the spread of Europe. And then tomorrow we will be discussing it, okay? We are going to be discussing the article. Are we clear? Yes, thank you very much. You should enjoy your day. You should enjoy your day. Who has questions? What are the things that you did not understand? Who has questions? Anyone with questions? So we can clarify. Nobody. Okay, and the group chat. I use offered successful. Okay, yes. You should get that thing. Okay. Okay, yes, thank you guys. Okay, let's move. No questions, no questions. Okay, that's good. So guys, you can download these books if you don't have the textbook, so you can read about the article, okay? And then from me, I'm done with my work today. Our class ended up a bit early, but it's okay. Go read about that article. Take this time to read about the article. And then you should invite your friends to join us on our school at STEAM Digital School, the Africa Teen Greeks, .co.za, okay? For my details are here. If you wanna ask me questions, you can email me on to me 96mukwena@gmail.com, and you can also get me on Instagram, okay? Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay sanitized, wash your hands, eat healthy, drink a lot of water. I love you so much. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, Oletu. Bye, Michaela. Bye, Kia. Bye, Gabriel. Bye.